Hey everybody, David Collins from Arbor Guitars, here with a real impromptu video. I didn't plan out. I was actually about halfway through this job before I realized it's something maybe somebody might like to see. I thought I'd shoot a quick summary of how we remove the pre-1980s Fender frets, which were installed sideways originally at the factory. There's a lot of different ways people go about this. I'm just going to show you my particular take on it that I find works best with the cleanest results. Since this is a maple board, first step I'm going to do is go in here with a fresh sharp X-Acto and score any of the finish right up along the corner. Have to be very careful that we don't deviate into the fretboard. Now, there are a number of ways that people can punch them out. One of them is to use just a little scratch awl with a nice point on the tip. This can work fine, but on maple boards especially, I find an occasional problem with the pointed tip flaring out the very end and actually pressuring a little metal out to the sides that can kind of follow along and scrape outside of the original footprint. So what I prefer to do instead is to use a small cutting burr and actually cut a little dimple into the end of it so that I can hit it with a flat punch that doesn't have any flare that wants to spread it out to the side. In order to do that, I made this guard that I use quite often. It just fits neatly over the fret and straps around with Velcro and holds on quite nice. Now, with a punch that's been ground down to fit the exact same size as the burr that I used to cut, I can come in with a flat edge and lightly wrap the fret right out the treble side. They were typically installed from bass to treble, and that's the way they tend to come out cleanest. Although I have seen cases where they do seem to come out cleaner the other way. Now when I get to the very end, I prefer not to continue tapping out. I like to actually come in with a pair of nippers and pull where I can control with my thumb the exact angle so that I continue straight out the other side without any kind of pull or flip up or down. Sometimes there will be a tiny bit of tear out here. In this case, we did get one tiny little flake there. So we're going to come in with a pipette, just enough glue to the tip to wet the tip to flow into that little flake. And now it looks perfect. You can't tell there was ever any evidence of it having come out from the side. Now we're going to try again from a slightly different angle, see if we can give a different perspective on it. This one's pretty well clean. No real finish peeled up around the edges. We're lucky with this one for 70s. This is cleaner than they usually tend to come. Again, we're going to stick our guard over there, stretch it on, make sure if we slip we're not going to damage the guitar. And all we need is a little dimple with a flat end so that our punch will fit in neatly. And then we can wrap it right out the side. At this point it's fairly loose, so we can go without the guard. We have a nice rest right in the end of that fret, so our punch isn't going to slip. Bring it almost to the end, and then a gentle pull controlled with the thumb, and nice clean removal, no chips at all. So that's that. We're going to continue through on the rest of these and refret it with some special wire provided by Jesscar that fits perfectly within the old Fender footprint, but is a little bit taller to allow us to level out any inconsistencies in the fret peaks on these old maple boards without affecting the original finish and still achieve a fully perfect playable surface. There are, of course, a lot of different ways different techs may do this. This just happens to be my way that I developed that seems to work best for me. Oftentimes they can be pulled directly up with proper heat and moisture won't damage the wood excessively. I just find, especially for these old maple boards, if we want to keep the finish intact, that going out sideways the same way they were installed tends to deliver the cleanest, most predictable results. So thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to us here on YouTube, or you can check out more of our videos at our website, AnnArborGuitars.com. Thanks again, and we'll see you soon.